I am a basic bitch for Tart. Yep. No hi, no hello. I'm just slipping right in there and I'm giving it to you right away. What's up, gang? I am Chuck Pino here with Chuck's Raw Reviews. And today, yeah, you guessed it, we're talking about Tart. Tart is done by my dude, Kevin Joseph, and his amazing artist. Oh my gosh. That's right. Ludovic Saleh. I told you already, I'm a basic bitch for his stuff. Here's the funny thing. In May, I got the really cool opportunity to share a table with Kevin. I had loved his work. I'd already featured it here on Chuck's Raw Reviews and even on other review sites before. And he seemed like a really cool guy. And you know, when someone seems like a really cool person, that's usually when they're not. And shit, he's a really cool dude. Like, we really had a really good time together. I enjoyed him a lot. I consider the guy a friend. I really appreciate his knowledge and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just, yeah, he's just a really cool dude and really helpful. But he also puts out a good fucking book. And he was great at a table. He was a lot of fun at the table. Now, to be fair, he did end up having to leave early, but when he was at that table, he was killing it. He was doing really good. He was helpful even with our books and stuff. Like, he would, you know, oh, this isn't for you, you know, try out Chuck stuff. It's not for you, try out Doug stuff. Like, he was just as helpful. Like, we had a really perfect table set up. I feel like we had three guys who did a really good job of making sure that everyone kind of got their moment in the spotlight. Enough of that shit, though. Yeah, fuck me, fuck Doug, fuck Kevin. It's not about that. It's about the book, Tart. So I got in touch with Kevin. And I said, man, I'm so excited. You got those new Tarts out. They're on Kickstarter right now. And he's in previews because Tart has been picked up by Scout Comics. And so now you can pick up Tart in comic book shops. So hit up your comic shop and ask for Tart. Why? What is Tart? It only took me 2.5 minutes almost to get there, but I'm going to tell you. So Tart is about, I've actually had to sell these books at tables. So I've got a pretty good, I feel like I have a pretty good pitch for Tart. Tart is a group of interdimensional bounty hunters that basically save the time, well, not even really bounty hunters, but hunters that save the timeline from demons. And it's really cool. It's kind of like a fairy version, and by fairy I mean like fae, fairy version of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I know that Buffy is often used in in Kevin's pitch, and I love that because he had a little Buffy nod in the last issue. So it was really neat. I told him, you know, love it, so excited, blah blah blah. And he said, "Do you want the next two issues?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I do." And he's like, "All right, cool. There you go." And I was like, "Well, you're getting a review." And he's like, "Oh, cool. That's not why I gave them to you." He just did it because he knows I'm a big fan, and you know what? I'm sure, I don't know if he knows, but like, I've been given all of the books to review. I've bought all of the books all the way through. We're now on issues 8 and 9. I'm on the Kickstarter. I bought 8 and 9. Like, I'm in for it. I'm there. My wife is a fan too. Wendy is a fan as well. So we love what he does. These issues, 8 was a very much straightforward. She had a mission to do. She came in. She did it. And that was it. It did have, what I am enjoying about the series now is that, you know, it was Tart. It was very much about acid tart, but now it's I can't remember the name of the I think it's the toxic fruits or something like that, but it's branched out, so where we're getting to see more of the other ladies who are involved, and even them kind of trying to bring in new people, because I think, to my recollection, there was like 4 or 5 of them who are actually out there actively trying to combat the demons, excuse me. So seeing that step up, it's cool, but it gets my writer's brain going, and I'm like, if they're out there and they're recruiting, it means that shit's about to get real. It means that I'm putting money that issue 12 is gonna be rough. As a comic fan, you know issue 12 is a big deal, and I just feel like that. And Kevin's a dude. You can feel him building up. He does it in a nice, subtle way. There's no like, I mean, just exactly like how I've explained to you right here. Hey, he's doing all these things, and these little things are happening. That's his build up, I believe, to what's going to be something big. So very excited to see all that coming up. But even just these issues that are building up and stepping up to it are really good. 8 was good. I wasn't in love with it. It was a solid, good Tart issue. She went out, she had a mission, she made it happen. Issue 9 was a lot of fun. I really liked issue 9. It you know what? Just the way she dealt with the baddies and all that kind of stuff, and sort of how it went, and then also seeing, I believe it was Lemon and some of the other ones. It was really cool. He's really dealing with some neat stuff, some really interesting demonic folklore. So I'm loving what he's doing. I'm in there. I'm buying it. So yeah, gang. I don't know how much I can tell, but I guess the first issue 8 was her battle with a demonic horse rider of sorts, who had captured someone effectively. Of course, as the issue goes along, you find out more about that. So, and she was having a hard time taking him down. So there was that, and then there was in that one actually there was several shorter issues as well, like shorter stories with some of the other characters, which was, like I said, always very cool. But issue 9, which was more my favorite and more along my my things, was her with a vampire. She's trying to track down a certain vampire to save them, and then it turns out that she's also found herself connected to an ancient historical happening. I don't want to go into it too much. I want you to be surprised the way I was, but the way he's been able to tie in these two very cool pieces of folklore, very cool. I think it's funny because Tart kind of fangirled about being in the middle of it, but I believe that was also Kevin fanboying and being like, oh, I'm really glad that I get to play with these things. And we can always do that. But I feel like, maybe it was just he hit issue 9 and he was like, I deserve one for me. Like, this should be my issue, the one that I'm writing for me. And I suspect that that's what Kev did here, is that he decided this is the Kevin Joseph issue. And that's what I'm guessing. I'm going to put my money on issue 9 is the one issue that is written for Kev himself. He will be his biggest fan of that issue. That's my guess. Cool. Ludovic, as always, Ludovic Saleh, I've said it before, he's got a very kind of European Milo Manera sort of look to things. It's an adult book, just in the regards of, it's like, I think we were selling it, we were saying he didn't want to sell it to people under, say, like 15 or so. So, some of the books have a very little bit of nudity. Very, very little. I don't think these 2 issues had any at all, really, that I remember. There's a little bit of gruesome killing, because of course there's monsters and demons, and there's some fucks and shits, which, that's right down my alley, right? Like, that's my stuff. So, for all the Chuckisms, the swearing, the gritty plot, the amazing art, like, it hits them. So, I still on the Tart train. If there is a Tart train, ooh, Kev, make a Tart train. But yeah, I'm very much on there. Very excited to continue to watch where it's going. And now that Scout has picked it up, maybe we're gonna be seeing issues even more often, which would be so bloody cool. So please go to Kickstarter now. Check out Tart. Hop on board and pick yourself up some issues. If you've never read a Tart book, cool, you got access to all 9 there. And then if not, and you just want to support your local comics shop, which is just as well, I completely understand that, go to your local comic shop and ask them to stock Tart. You will not be disappointed at all. I have said it pretty much since I've read it, that this was one of my favorite books, and my mind has not been changed. So that's it. You've heard it from the Chuck. Subscribe, check us out. I'm going to be continuing to talk about all sorts of amazing books, and I would love for you guys to be here and check them out. So, peace, love, and comics, everybody. And buy Tart. Fuck.